is someone who looks after and supports a friend, relative or neighbour who couldn't manage without their help. Carers come from all backgrounds and can be any age. You might even be a carer yourself. If you are, you're not alone, and we want to make sure you get all the help and support you're entitled to. In this DVD, you'll hear from other people who've received support from adult social care services, and if you're a carer, you could be entitled to similar support too. This is Deborah. She works for adult social care services and helps carers and the people they care for every day.
People don't always identify themselves as carers. A lot of people just see it as their role as the person's wife or husband or son or daughter. The actual tasks that they're doing are enabling the person to remain at home, to remain safe, or to promote their independence.
Karen cares for her son Daniel, who has learning disabilities, but it took her a long time to realise that she was a carer.
Daniel has had problems from being a baby. He's 25 years old now. And it wasn't until about 11 years ago that I realised that I was a carer. I was looking after Daniel because I'm his mum, but then it was pointed out to me that I did far more than what a normal mum would do. That's when I realised I was a carer.
Accessing support made a big difference to Karen and Daniel's life, and depending on your needs, adult social care services can help in lots of different ways. This is Shanaz. She accessed support to make adaptations to her home that would make caring for a mum much easier.
I've not always been a carer for my mum. It's just when she started deteriorating, she started getting mobility problems. I heard social services actually help with equipment adaptations, and my mum found it difficult going up the stairs, so somebody came from social services after I contacted them, did an assessment, and they fitted a stair lift for her. Over the years she'd become worse, so we contacted social services again, and then they came back again, did another assessment, and then she had a bath seat put in. So obviously it's good that social services are there, because when her condition worsens, there are other things available.
Alice has been caring for her husband Alan for 14 years. Over the years, adult social care services have provided a range of adaptations and support services to help them to live together comfortably in their own home.
We have carers come in now once a day in the morning. For 40 minutes, they get him up, give him his wash, his shave. I can be doing jobs downstairs that I would have to do after I'd normally got him up and got him dressed.
As well as adaptations to your home and visits from carers, adult social care services can provide access to activities for the cared-for person. This is Millie. She cares for her husband Clive, who suffered a brain tumour 11 years ago.
The sort of support I've received has been where he's had a key worker that has helped him to progress in the things that he's enjoyed, such as swimming and keep fit. So that's given him a better quality of life, because he's keeping fit, he's enjoying his swimming, he's meeting other adults and getting out and about, and he's learning to trust people again.
Millie also receives self-directed support. This allows carers and the cared-for person to have a personal budget that they can allocate themselves. Here, she explains the process for receiving it.
You have an assessment from the social worker who comes and asks you what other services are in place already, and then from that they will see what other areas need supporting. Clive needed 2 days when there was nobody with him at all. So they managed to say, we can give you this 9 hours of self-directed payments, and from that you can choose your own carer. I chose a friend and also a family member, and then they pay them a certain amount for being a carer, sort of an internal carer, rather than somebody from outside.
Carers sometimes feel like they have to do everything on their own, but this isn't always the best way.
It's important for carers to access support as early on as possible in the caring role to help prevent the situation from escalating whereby they might need more support. So, for example, at the beginning, they might just need someone just to relieve them for a few hours. That might then help them to continue in the caring role.
Here's Karen to explain how she began accessing support.
I've not always accessed the support available for carers. It wasn't until I went to the Citizens Advice Bureau I started telling the gentleman about the problems my son's got. and he said about disability living allowance. I'd never heard of it, but he said he filled the forms in for me and sent them off, and I was able to get disability living allowance for Daniel.
In the early stages of caring for Clive, Millie didn't want anyone else involved. Here she explains how her opinions changed over time.
I think it's important for people to access services earlier on because it saves you struggling, and it also means that you get the best for the person you're caring for and also the best for you. Services are out there, and unfortunately for me, I just didn't look for it. I was coping, I say, at 50% level myself, and now at 100% level. Some of it is because I feel confident that they're caring for him well. The other part is that he wants to go to these activities as well, and that the people there care for him and will look after him and understand what he's going through.
If you're a carer and would like to access support, you first need to get in touch with Adult Social Care Services. You can do this in a number of ways. Via telephone on 0114 273 4908. In person at First Point, Howden House, Union Street, Sheffield, near the Peace Gardens. Online at www.sheffield.gov.uk/carers, or through your GP, local advice centre or carers centre. If you're eligible to receive services, the next stage is to have a carer's needs assessment.
A carer's needs assessment is looking at the carers specifically, what support they're providing, their own physical health and well-being and their own social needs. It's looking at what would enable them to be able to continue to have a life of their own, if you like.
The carer's needs assessment is all about helping the carer and isn't something you should be worried about. Here's Alice's experience of the process.
When I knew a social worker was involved and was coming to the house, I must admit I was nervous. As it happened, the girl who came, she was very nice. She was very helpful, advised me on different equipment we could have. If I didn't understand something, I could ask her and she would explain it to me. So she was very helpful, not a bit frightening like I thought it would have been.
Millie also had a carer's needs assessment and found the whole process really simple.
I didn't have to do anything except answer some questions, so even though it seemed daunting when she first came and said there's things I need to ask you, I thought they'd be really deep and personal about how I cared for him or how I cared for myself. But it was all to do with exactly what it says, needs. What are the needs for yourself as well as the person you're caring for? And it wasn't just about one person, it was about both of us. And I found that really important. And then she just asked me questions and then filled in the forms. Depending on the questions I asked, I did nothing except sign at the very end. So if people couldn't read or write, it would be easy for them to do the form filling because they don't have to do anything to do with that.
Carers have an important role and we want to do everything we can to support them. To do that, we need carers to get in touch.
The advice I would give to someone that's just realised that they are a carer is get in touch with Adult Social Care Services, ring the Carers Centre and find out exactly what support there is, because there is support out there, but you've got to make the effort to find out for yourselves.
The carers should be able to access services around their area. There are places like advice centres. I think they can even go to the GP, get advice from the GP, and I think that they shouldn't shy away and be shy to get help. I think they should come out and get the help that they need, and it'll make their life a lot easier as well.
Well, contacting the Adult Social Services, I was a bit worried about it, but it was nothing to be frightened about. They are there to help, and don't be frightened of asking for the help because it is there if you'll ask for it.
I think it's important for carers to access time for themselves because the caring role is big, but at the same time it's so rewarding when you know you are doing everything you can to support that person, but also you also need to know you have to do everything you can to support yourself.
If you or someone you know is a carer and might benefit from Adult Social Care Services support, then please get in touch via telephone on 0114 273 4908. In person at First Point, Howden House, Union Street, Sheffield, near the Peace Gardens, or online at www.sheffield.gov.uk/carers.